Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. The conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament are right around the corner. Watch them in style with a new home theater seat or seats from Games and Things. Find the right seats for your room and your budget. OurGameRoom.com or Games and Things, the corner of Lovell Road and Kingston Pike. All right, I am back with Justin Hamilton here, and we should be doing something here in this segment. You should be doing this with a Titans helmet right there, because this week you officially signed the papers to become a member of the Titans coaching staff. Justin Hamilton, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Tell folks what you're going to be doing over there.
I'm going to be a defensive assistant quality control coach. Did an internship there this summer with the Bill Walsh Minority Internship, and it will probably be carryover of similar roles there, just an assistant to the assistants.
That's good. We have, well, first of all, I've enjoyed having you on the show. I mean, it was good to have somebody that we would go out, because you were out of work, just sitting on the beach this year. We would go out and kind of plan how we could break down things on the show, and that's been a lot of fun. You brought a lot to the show over these last 16, 17 weeks, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Hopefully we'll see you again. There may be a time or two when we can drag you in here. But the NFL, since we've been talking, you've always had your eye more toward the NFL as opposed to getting back into college. Doesn't mean you shut the door on colleges, but you were targeting the NFL, and I know you're a big fan of Mike Vrabel, but why NFL over college? As an assistant coach, why one over the other?
The biggest thing for me was, as a college coach right now, you're always choosing between your own family and someone else's family. And that really became taxing. I've got a 9-year-old son, 7-year-old daughter, 2-year-old son. My wife's at home, and the wives have to carry a lot of the burden in that, and my wife certainly has done that. But, at the dinner table, I'm getting a call where it's the only time this prospect can talk to me, and I have to talk to him, or we're not going to get him in recruiting or not have a shot. So I've got to take the call, take the phone around the table where, hey, here's my family, here's what we're doing. Yeah. And by itself, it's not hard work. But over time, I was always choosing between my own family and the family of our current players, the family of kids in the portal, kids wanting to get in the portal, high school kids, junior college kids. And in the NFL, there's certainly things that are burdens, but right. They're different.
Everything's a job. Nobody's ever found a job that's not called a job.
Right.
There's something negative about all of them. But I was wondering how much the transfer portal made things different, because it's one thing to recruit, it's another thing to have to recruit your own team constantly. You've also got tampering now, which you mentioned a few weeks ago was the #1 topic at the coaching convention. There are contracts in the NFL, but you're not having to worry about people tampering as you do in college. And then also, when you look at the college game, just the amount of turmoil right now, it seems like that would be, say, if I were in your role, I would also be looking at it saying, where is this sport going over the next 5 or 10 years, as opposed to the NFL, which is kind of, what it is.
Right, and that's certainly a question that I have. And one of the things that, just from panning back, as you mentioned, not being working this year, you just see that you have to be a self-promoter in the college game. Now, coaches have to do it. Players have to do it. Marketing people with NIL have to do it. Universities have to do it. And I'm not crazy into self-promotion and what that takes, and putting yourself out there in those ways and inviting people into your private life and really sacrificing all of your private life. The NFL, I think, gives you more of that. And like you mentioned, there's contracts, there's a draft, there's free agency. There are periods where it seems to be more streamlined, where college, I'm not against college football in general, but until it's regulated and we see what direction it's going, it's not really where I want to be.
Well, and you've still got somewhat of an off season in the NFL, as opposed to there's no holiday break. There's nothing in college. It's just constant going. NFL, it's not like you're off for the entire summer, but there's at least a couple of weeks there where you can get out. And with college, you're pretty much on call at all times. The other thing that's a bonus for a coach, 20-hour rule. You don't have to worry about that anymore. They're in there as long as you want them.
Well, it is nice. They have a few rules and structures in the NFL, but
it's not like college.
It's not at all like college. It's totally different. And it is nice to think about. You go into a week and you're game planning for a team in college, and you look and you say, here are the things schematically and structurally that we would need to do to attack or defend what they do. And then you have to say, well, what are we able to teach? What do we have time to teach our players? The NFL you have time to scheme all the nuances and the high-level intricacies of football, and that excites me also.
Well, I will say this. It's interesting you use the word teach because you brought an awful lot to our show. In just 4 short months, we were at lunch a few weeks ago and somebody comes up. I'm used to getting the attention. Somebody comes up, looks at me and goes, "I like your show. Man, you have been fantastic. What an addition." And I'm like, whoa, 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 what's so great about him? But what's great about you, what is great about you, is you are a teacher. I think you could do anything you wanted in terms of, you could be a middle school teacher or you could be a head coach in the NFL or college. Just, you do a spectacular job of sliding into television. You picked it up immediately, but also you got the fact that there's a medium for teaching people. There are guys out there who understand football. There are guys out there who just like to hear people talk about it. And to find a way to break down some of the concepts you broke down with us this year that would keep everybody interested, and as wide as that umbrella is, to keep all those people under that umbrella, keep them all interested, that takes a teacher, and you've got that. So I wish you nothing but the best, and we'll miss you on this show, but I knew it was going to be a short-term run. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very appreciative to have been on here and what all you guys have meant to it. It's amazing to me how smart a fired coach can sound.
Well, let's make sure you don't get fired again, but that's kind of the way that job works. So when you do get fired down in the future, you've always got a spot here. All right, very good. When we come back, I want to ask this guy, as an assistant coach, if he could speak on behalf of all assistants out there everywhere and tell us in the media, you fans at home, one thing or two things. What do we need to know about the life of an assistant that would make us better media, better fans? What do you need to know? That's next, going back on the Sports Source.